morning. So it's Saturday and it's bat mitzvah day. So we're going to Northwood. Now, if there's any doubt in the world that Northwood is quite Jewish, there's two synagogues actually, within 200 metres of each other, in fact. And the only thing separating them is a Waitrose. Just an amazing cliche. It's wonderful. So there we go. So that's this morning's activities.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
Another way, so I knew they weren't going to get to us. We thought they'd get to us early. Going in one car might be slightly.
Yes, you could.
Well, I think between something.
This is the Grange in Hackbridge, of all places. It's very nice looking, although in this light it's hard to see much. It's for social event number 2 of the day. Hello, good afternoon. We spent all morning watching the Grand Prix, so that's why I haven't seen us till now. I'm just nipping out to buy something so we can start cooking for tonight, because we're going to go out, the last of our 3 social engagements for the weekend. We've had a bar mitzvah and a wedding and now a birthday party. So yeah, it's kind of manic. So yeah, it's a nice day today, but there's going to be this big storm tonight, so we have to move all the plants in before they get decimated. It's already quite windy, as you can see.
So yesterday was the great storm of 2013, which was the least dramatic thing I may have ever witnessed, aside from an X Factor final. However, there are a few things that have come down, a few branches and one very old tree, sadly, just round the corner. But broadly speaking, I mean, I didn't notice it during the night. If it was windy, which apparently wasn't particularly in Kew, didn't get much above 16 miles an hour, but apparently there were some gusts which caused a bit of a problem. So I'm going to go for a walk, survey the damage. Kew Gardens is closed today, probably because of branches falling and whatnot. But really, the only place that the storm really hit with any force was Twitter, to be honest.
Some destruction here. I think this is where the tree came down, yeah. Wow. So that's unfortunate. So one of the reasons I go around sort of removing ivy from the trees is because what the ivy does is it sort of strangles the tree slowly. Get a weaker tree, and then when you get a strong wind like this, it comes down like that one, which is kind of inevitable. Just checking there's nothing along there. Not really, no, good. So again, not very impressive wind speeds in the grand scheme of things. This kind of happens in other parts of the world regularly, and when it happens here, everyone goes completely mental. It's kind of needed to a certain extent. It's the way that nature roots out the weak trees and lets the stronger ones go through. Now you can see here a bit of fall along there, and then behind me there's a tree blocking it down there. So there's a few branches come off and whatnot. It's hardly 1987. So we have lost a few branches and twigs and what have you. It's sort of nature's way of pruning the dead wood. We have lost some of the bigger trees, but only very few. Some of the slightly rotten ones, that one seems to have come down. Lucky it came that way, because it's the sewage works on the other side, and that could cause complete chaos if that came down that way. But you can see it's rotten at the base, it's got fungus growing on it. Bit of a shame. It's completely rotted through. It's huge fungus growing down the side. It's kind of only a matter of time, really. It appears we've hit another obstruction. This time it's fallen out of the snail reserve. Think of the snails. Think of the snails. Yeah, it's a moderate sized tree. It's not actually one of the big ones, it doesn't look like. The prevailing wind seems to have gone across the path from left to right all the way along here, which is odd because it's quite sheltered on my left, so it's weird where the wind gusts come from. Anyway, we've got to try and get over this. This should be fun. That's what happens when the ivy strangles the tree. You can see the branch dies, and then when the wind comes along, it takes it off. And of course, if it does that to the trunk, it kills the strength of the trunk. Strong wind brings down tree. That's why you need to check for the ivy. Big trees in your garden, make sure they're not being strangled by it. Cut through the ivy if you can. It'll grow back, but you don't want the tree coming down on your house, that's for sure. There we got a bit of a bough breakage, but the tree's alright. It's kind of blocked the path again. Q reckons they've lost 10 to 15 mature trees, which isn't that bad, seeing as they have, I think it's 14,000. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, not too bad. It's amazing it's taken any, to be honest. It really wasn't that windy last night around here. It must have just been a few gusts here and there. But yeah, I mean, it's not that significant. There was a gas explosion in Hounslow that killed 2 people. Not entirely sure whether that's related to the storm or just coincidence at the same time. So that one's a bit of a bummer. Don't think there's a car under there though. That's the entrance to the Putney Town Rowing Club, whatever it was. Kind of difficult to get in there now. Morning. It is quite a stunning morning actually. It's going to be very nice tomorrow as well. I think the weather's going to deteriorate this lunchtime, obviously, but so far so good. So I'm going for a bit of a walk. Yesterday had a couple of RHP committees, which you always turn your brain on last thing at night, which is really dangerous, of course, because then you can't sleep. And today I'm going to head into Wimbledon, have lunch with Crystal, and then I'm going to Wimbledon Studios to see Des. So that should be interesting as well. Don't know if I mentioned going on holiday on Monday. Still hugely ill-prepared for that. In fact, I don't know that I've ever been so badly prepared for a holiday. It's like, we're there for 12 days. I mean, there's a suitcase in the living room. Other than that, though, continuing Stormwatch 2013. So Kew Gardens lost 12 mature trees yesterday morning, I guess. Which is, you know, it's not great, but in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty non-existent. It's closed again today, Tuesday, because they're doing a bit more clear up. They obviously lost a lot of branches. Hopefully it'll be open tomorrow. We can go and have a look, see what the damage is, see if we spot any trees that are missing. And yeah, we'll just kind of blinding. Be interesting to see what else is missing on the towpath as well, which is why I'm doing a little recce. I realised I never quite finished my YLF radio story. I kind of did a lot of the build-up and the preamble. Cut to the chase. Anyway, so I did these video projects in-house for the sales teams to show off what they've got and how it could be sponsored. They were really, really annoyingly difficult. They took much longer than they should have done. The deadline kept being moved. And yet, when I got to the end of them, they were so much more satisfying than the work I was actually doing radio-wise. Even though they were well paid in the grand scheme of in the radio scheme of things, in the video scheme of things, not particularly. Yes, I handed them in. So relieved when you finally, reach that goal. You don't really get that in radio because it's an ever-rolling sort of process. You never really get to the end of something and get to appreciate it. Handed them in, went for a walk for lunch, and I remember walking down the street past the post office, William IV Street in London, and just having a kind of like, I'd rather do this. Why not do this instead? And then it occurred to me that I could. It's not something you've ever really thought of before. And I remember thinking at that moment, that was the kind of decision moment. It wasn't the moment I handed my notice in or anything like that, but it was the like, okay, I'm done. That's it. We've done all the radio I'm going to do. I need an exit plan. And that just took a couple of months, a bit of thinking about how this is actually going to work in practice. And yeah, handed my notice in April in the end, or March, and agreed to stay till June. And that was that. And now we're here, going for a walk, avoiding fallen trees. Like that one. Kind of collapsed a bit. Stormwatch 2013 update. So I think this is the only tree that hasn't been cleared along the towpath. Fake path. So that very brief shot you saw was Wimbledon. This is Wimbledon Studios. So that's the street set. There's also the old Bill set, which I walked down to show it, so I didn't get a chance to film them actually. I was a bit sort of dumbstruck. It's the old Bill. They've got a whole police station in there and a hospital. It's quite amazing. I mean, it looks like you imagined it would in the 90s, like a 90s police station, 90s hospital set, but nonetheless, quite extensive and very impressive. So that was really good fun. And I had a chat with Des about what he's doing. He's got some offices here. It's a very nice little setup, and yeah, good afternoon. Good morning. So today is Wednesday, and it's probably the last really nice day of the year. It's only 15 degrees, but it's perfect blue skies, and just had to make the most of it. So I'm gonna do a quick lap of Kew Gardens this morning. And this evening we're going to go and use up probably the last meal we can get on this year's taste card. A little Lebanese place in Kew, so that should be nice. Packing is pretty much done for Monday, so that's very exciting. Brain slowly adjusting to the idea of going on holiday. And we've got Taya's birthday on Friday, my dad's birthday on Sunday, and then we can go. We can go relax for a couple of weeks. So they said they lost 12 mature trees. That looks like that could be one of them. There's another tree down there that's broken off halfway up. Looks like branches snapped and what have you. And those ones, so that could be a couple. There is number 2/3, depending on how many you counted last time. If you look here, you'll see the top of that oak tree has fallen, just missed the pine. So this bit of the path by the Thames has been cordoned off because there's a kind of sort of Damocles branch there hanging. It's snapped off quite high up, and it's there's bits come down, but that huge bit hasn't. So that's exciting. Glad they noticed that. Still some amazing colours, although obviously the strong winds took a lot of the leaves off, especially on the maples and the beech trees and cherry trees, sorry. So it looks like there's one down over there, which is why this is closed. It's fallen across the path. So by my calculations so far, that's it's 3 down, 2 seriously injured. That's loss number 4 by my count. Pretty horizontal. That eucalyptus makes number 5. Someone's very upset. Actually, and 6. It's 2 eucalypti. That's very sad. I need some more eucalyptuses planting, or they need to write that one. Could be difficult. It's quite a mature tree, that. It smells amazing. Always used to pull leaves off it. Oh well. Hi. I'm quite sure I said this last year, but I really don't like winter in this country. It's not just a mild sort of discontent, and it's not the temperature. I don't actually mind being somewhere very cold. It's the hours of sunlight, and I think every year it's worse. Not the number of hours of sunlight obviously doesn't change, but my experience of it does. So I'm very glad that we've got 2 weeks off Greenwich Mean Time's stupidness in the north. It's still Greenwich Mean Time, incidentally, in the Canaries, but they're closer to the equator, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm all about British summertime and double summertime. That's why I supported the Lighter Later campaign and various things that are going to try and abolish the idea of using GMT in the winter. It's just so miserable, to be honest. Lindsay's birthday/Halloween drink.
She looks quite stressed. She's always I can imagine, Toby, did I play bag with me on the way up?
Usual suspect.
What?
It's been so in your face.
Alright.
Hello, it's Friday morning-ish, let's say lunchtime, and just going for a quick walk. Last opportunity really in the grey coldness. Last night was quite fun. Lindsay dancing on tables, usual really, pretty much, for a cocktail club. It's kind of what she does. And Ashley and his new best mate. So that was quite fun. My last thought, just very quickly before we see a bit of Taya's birthday as part of the birthday extravaganza weekend, following on from the bar mitzvah wedding weekend last weekend, is I'm now shooting so much footage, 20 minutes a week, as to make it, a bit cumbersome, because I understand you don't want to sit here and necessarily watch 20 minutes of me going, yeah. So I might start doing bi-weekly vlogs for the first time in, what will be 3.5 years. Make sure that nothing's more than 10 minutes ever. I think that's really the cut-off for, attention spans. So, let me know if you think that's a good idea, or if you'd just rather not see my face at all, in which case we can just do this instead. This is where all the pumpkins have ended up.
Painting ones.
I know.
Look at me. Look at this one. Sorry. I think I've got it.
Hello and welcome to Old Amersham Town. We're going for Sunday lunch at Gilby's, which is at the end of this road here. We just need to find the other two parties. See if they've parked somewhere along here. Meet up.
And the way, sometimes if you turn them and look at them slight angle to it, you get a different view.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I get you any drinks at
I'm
all?
sure we can.
We're missing a couple of
Just
Just
coming out.
moved out. As we walk back down, there's a space a bit further on.
Mm.
There's always a nightmare. Whenever you come during the week,
There's a good
it's
view
real-
from here.
You sometimes have to go up, down, or else you
Chiltern
can't get to
Hills.
Tesco's. But I don't know how long it's not there.
Oh, we've got to get those in pretty quick.
Brussels
It might have to be for next year, but I don't recall you growing cookies.
No, we've never tried.
We grew a cabbage.
Yeah.
Oh, the cabbages have all been eaten. They're just like arrows. Dreadful. Red cabbages and they're all... Yeah, there's nothing on them.
That's a shame. Well, maybe the Brussels sprouts
Who's
are
that?
free, aren't they? So maybe
Who's he?
Well, I think
I've got to put Martin Acres.
Oh,
76.
Mind, let's have a photo.
Oh, I light it again. I can light it again.
You can zoom, Walter. Yes, good work.
Walter's reading a library.
Welcome to Sainsbury's. We're just getting some fuel. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the vlog up there. It's run deliberately 2 days later than normal, so I could get this weekend into this last vlog. I'm going to have to take the laptop to Gran Canaria after all, which is slightly annoying, but it means you'll get to see fish and beaches and stuff. So I hope you join me then. But for now, bye.